Is it working? Recording? Okay. My dad became a straight up tonto. No one knows what happened to him exactly, except he was the worst kind of mama's boy. Could never be alone. One time he flooded out the 8 freeway while supposed to be irrigating his dad's crops. He was in his front seat of his car, nodded off. Straight up dog food noodle shooter. I tried hard to remember if I ever had a single fun time with this dude. He put me on his lap once while driving, letting me steer. Type of dude who used koozies for his beer. He pointed out Plaster City lights, smoke stacks anonymous. It became a landmark for me every time I had to go to the valley. Sometimes I even dreamed of it. But have you ever been there though? It's a place where draft dodgers work. The first time I ever shot a gun was with him. I was 6. Him and his homeboy Norbert lived in the middle of nowhere, Hakumba, close to the border drug smuggling. 2 RVs parked next to each other. He handed me a 30-06. I blasted at a flock of birds. River of blood ran from my nose. I cried while on my back in the snow, kicking my legs up in the air like little kids do, like I was riding an imaginary bicycle. And I hadn't even killed nothing. I did 4 years and never showed up. Once. Supposedly, but they said he was too drunk. This fool shot dope for 40 years and still lives. It's too easy of an analogist to a cockroach. Afterwards, he became a pathetic shell of a person. Like all those AA programs warn you about, he couldn't talk without a crying type person. I ain't the son showing up to carry his coffin out the hearse, but I will show up. Because last family funeral, there was some big juicy titties hugging me from the waist, apologizing about that, or that my grandmother's being lowered into the ground at that moment. I say most of this shit while smirking. It was a lot. Brought out a .22 rifle where we all had handguns, the kind of guns that make dogs bark. The hood held down all 3 city parks, the East Side San Diego Park, the walking against traffic type smarts. And I was the proudest he was of me. I was Chicano in the most maximum way. And looking white, I figured I need to mention this, because I put more work in for La Raza than anyone claiming they're Mexican or claiming that I'm not. The only funny shit he ever said was that when their phones were being tapped, they started to use the word milagro, a miracle, to trip up the feds. How's Christmas going? When are you coming down? Tonight. And I got a milagro. In LA, he had a couple pounds in the trunk of his car and was miraculously rear-ended while waiting at a red light. It was something that became a 5-car pileup. The police, seeing his car damaged, asked if they could open the trunk and take some type of inventory of all the damage done. He said, if I open up my trunk, I might not be able to close it again. What a milagro that was. Probably the only smartest thing he ever thought of. Hell yeah.